Hi and welcome to episode number 641 with whatsforchow.com. Today we're going to hard boil an ostrich egg, and at the same time we're going to sous vide another ostrich egg in my big digital pot. Before I started on this journey, I searched the internet to see what information was available on both methods, and the only thing I found was a little info on boiling the eggs. The consensus for boiling seems to be between 90 and 120 minutes. As far as sous vide goes, there is absolutely nothing on the web. So I did some of my own calculations based on how I'd sous vide a thick chunk of meat similar in weight and size to the egg. The closest I came was a large pork knuckle of 1.8 kilograms, roughly the same size as the egg. I have done hundreds of these very successfully, and the timing temperature combination for those was 13 hours at 73 Celsius. So this was my starting point. I also added a cup of vinegar to each pot in the hope that the vinegar would weaken the shell a little and make it easier to peel after the cooking process was complete. I brought a large pot of water vinegar solution to a boil and placed the egg in the water, set my time for 2 hours and carried on preparing the sous vide pot. You may have noticed that the egg was floating. This is never a good sign with any egg, as it means the egg is near or past its sell-by date. Anyway, it was too late to turn back, so I continued. With the sous vide, I raised the temperature to 73 Celsius and placed the egg in the pot. I placed the lid on the pot and set my timer for 13 hours. After 2 hours, I removed the egg in the boiling pot from the water and immediately plunged it into a large bowl of iced water. This halts the cooking process and also helps to loosen the membrane that sits between the shell and the egg. I let this cool for 60 minutes and proceeded to peel the egg. I did this by chipping a line into the shell using my butcher's axe, but you could use anything like this, including the back of a cleaver or a heavy blade knife. As I suspected, the egg was off, rotten, and half of the egg's mass had already wasted through the porous shell. At least it allowed me to practice the peeling part of the exercise. And despite this all, the egg appeared to be properly hard-boiled with a firm white, or in this case brown, and firm yolk. Another 11 hours later, I removed the sous vide egg from the cooker and plunged this into a bowl of iced water. Once again, I left this for 60 minutes to cool. I noticed immediately that the vinegar in the water had almost totally softened the outer layer of the once shiny enamel on the shell, and this could simply be rubbed off. I chipped a line into the shell and started to peel away. This egg did not float at all, but did have a pronounced air sac at the bottom end, indicating that it was pretty close to its sell-by date. I cut through the egg and found that the sous vide time was just short. The white of the egg had not set entirely, and there was a small undercooked patch in the center of the yolk. On the second day, I ran out to our local ostrich farm and grabbed another 2 eggs, this time making sure they had just been laid. The first egg was processed exactly the same as the boiled egg, but the sous vide egg, I adjusted the process to counter the undercooked result in the first test. I decided to increase the sous vide temperature instead of increasing the time. I increased the temperature to 80 Celsius and left the time at 13 hours, and everything worked out just fine. The boiled egg was disappointing in appearance, with the white having a dull grey colour. However, the Sous Vide Ostrich egg was much better, with a more pleasing color and better texture. It is important to note that if you want a nice clean cut through the yolk, you need to use a wire cutter, not a blade as I did. Here is a little serving suggestion I put together: sliced ostrich egg, served with crispy bacon, sausage, tomato and mustard mayo sauce. That's it for today, folks. Please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you again real soon.